Welcome back to the deep dive. We're always swimming in this sea of information, right? And finding those really valuable nuggets, the overlooked insights, it's tough. So today we're focusing on a place that often flies under the radar, but it's quietly making waves as a real estate frontier in the UAE. Al Quwain, yeah, easy to maybe glance past it, especially next to its, let's say, flashier neighbors. But there's definitely a story unfolding there. It's nestled right between Ajman and Ras Al Khaimah, smallest emirate, known for, well, its natural coastline, lots of marine life, and honestly a refreshingly low population. So our mission today, really unpack what makes Al Quwain tick. From its untouched natural side to its pretty bold development plans, the growing ROI, that's return on investment, and what it all could mean for you if you're looking for that strategic edge. Yeah, let's get into this. So starting off, what really makes Al Quwain different in a region that's all about big ambitions? Is it just that it's small, or is there something more fundamental?
Well, that's what's so interesting, isn't it? It cultivates this this completely different vibe compared to its neighbor. Look, Al Quwain isn't trying to build the next world's tallest building or pack people in. It's actually leaning into its authenticity. Fundamentally, it's a natural island surrounded by clean, and I mean properly clean, swimmable waters.
And swimmable is a key word there.
It really is. And it's not just luck. These waters, they benefit from natural filtration. And crucially, there's no heavy industry around, unlike some other coastal spots. And that directly means, fewer pollutants, much better air quality. It's a huge draw.
For who, mainly?
Families, definitely. And lifestyle buyers, people actively seeking that peaceful, lower-rise kind of living. It's carving out this distinct natural charm.
Yeah, that feels quite rare, actually. In this part of the world, finding a place that's really prioritizing that sort of natural feel and low-rise living. Makes you wonder, though, how long can that last with all the development? So, okay, it has this unique charm now, but what's the plan? The long-term vision? Is it just staying quiet, or are there bigger things cooking?
Right, crucial question. Because quiet now doesn't mean standing still. Not at all. There is a very clear long-term vision. They want to transform the emirate into a modern, yes, but also sustainable coastal destination. And they're backing this up with serious investment. Two flagship developments are really key here. First, you've got Sinyah Island. Picture this. A low-density island community. We're talking thousands of homes, but also luxury hotels, a marina, loads of green space.
Low density, okay.
Very much so. The master plan is big on sustainability. Less than half the island is actually set for development, keeping a lot of it natural.
And the second one?
That's downtown Al Quwain. This is massive. A coastal district over 25 million square feet. It's planned with everything. Residential, commercial, hotels, walkable beaches. Importantly, a free zone.
The free zone aspect is interesting for business.
Exactly. Business-friendly licensing, logistics opportunities, plus high-end amenities. This downtown area alone, they project it could eventually house over 150,000 residents.
Whoa, okay. 150,000, that's a significant jump from now. These sound huge. Are they really grounded? I mean, is there a risk they're just, ambitious blueprints? How solid are these plans?
It's a fair point, but the planning seems pretty robust. They've laid out clear infrastructure roadmaps, guaranteed beach access for these areas is part of the deal, and there's a definite focus on building for actual long-term demand. They're not just sort of lines on a map. The foundational elements are being put in place to make them viable.
Okay, so we see the unique appeal, the big vision, but let's talk money. What does this mean for your portfolio if you're listening? Because this is where UAQ starts to sound, well, really compelling.
Right. So the immediate thing for anyone looking at investment, Al Quwain gives you that rare chance to be an early mover in the UAE context. It really is one of the few spots where you can still genuinely buy in before it hits the mainstream buzz.
How early were we talking, price-wise?
Well, property prices right now, they're running about 15% to 20% lower than you'd find in nearby Ajman or even Sharjah for comparable properties. And think about new off-plan units, beachfront ones, buying before they're built. The potential returns look good. Rental yields are pretty strong. I think 7% to 9% gross.
7 to 9% gross yield on beachfront.
Yeah, that's what the projections and early signs indicate for these new developments. Plus, and this is a big plus, people often miss your running costs are lower. Utilities, maintenance, they reckon 30% to 40% less than in most major UA cities.
That's significant.
It adds up. And the growth dynamic is interesting too. Population is growing, yes, but slowly, steadily. And the infrastructure is keeping pace, expanding with it, not getting overwhelmed by it. So for you, the listener, it's really about spotting that value, that potential in this early stage, before everyone else does.
Right, so it's not just about buying cheaper now. It's about the potential for that capital appreciation down the line as these big plans actually, come to fruition.
Exactly. There's room to grow. Early investors are definitely positioned to benefit as the area matures.
Okay, inevitably, people hear growth in the UAE and they think, Dubai. How fair is that comparison? Is UAQ just trying to be a sort of Dubai Light or a Dubai 2.0?
Yeah, that comparison comes up, but it's important to be clear. UAQ isn't trying to be the next Dubai. It's really forging its own path. Well, the whole approach is different. The growth is slower, more intentional. There's that strong commitment to sustainable development, protecting the natural stuff we talked about, the water, the mangroves. And the planning is community-focused, low density. It's just a different philosophy. What UAQ offers isn't a copy. It's more like a complement, a different option within the UAE's overall offering. You know, it caters to a niche the high-rise hubs might not.
A smarter alternative, maybe, rather than a replicate.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, a smarter alternative.
That makes sense. It sounds like it's positioning itself for people perhaps feeling priced out or overwhelmed elsewhere, like a lifestyle choice for families, maybe first-time buyers. So given this unique pitch, who is actually investing or moving there? Can we put some faces or profiles to this trend? And let's get into the actual numbers a bit more.
Sure. The buyer profile is definitely getting broader. You're seeing families, like you said, drawn by the coast and the affordability. You've got investors purely focused on getting in early for that ROI and potential capital gain. Then there are first-time buyers who can actually enter the market here, maybe when they couldn't elsewhere. The price point is more accessible.
Makes sense.
And definitely second home buyers, people wanting peace, space, that swimmable water we keep mentioning. They see it as an escape. Oh, and don't forget the commercial side, that affordable free zone licensing. It's pulling in businesses, logistics firms, so you get this dual appeal residential and business.
Okay, concrete numbers. Let's nail some down.
Right. Current population is roughly 59,000, give or take. Property appreciation just over the last couple of years, around 15%, steady growth.
Cool.
Average rents for, say, an apartment, maybe AED 25,000 to 30,000 annually. That's Emirati dirham, obviously, which leads back to those rental yields we mentioned. 7% to 9% gross is realistic for the new stock, and that big downtown UAQ project, projected residents, 150,000 eventually.
And entry price. For something desirable, like those beachfront places.
You can find branded beachfront units starting around the AED 1.1 million mark right now, give or take.
Okay. When you stack those numbers up against other emirates, you really see the value argument, don't you? Especially for yield hunters or those looking for that quieter lifestyle long term.
Absolutely. So, summing it all up, Al Quwain isn't shouting the loudest. It's deliberately choosing to grow differently, more naturally, intentionally, rooted in what it already is. Its big advantages: clean waters, quiet beaches, these well-planned new districts coming online, and those early-stage returns. It could genuinely surprise people, even seasoned investors.
So for you listening, if things like timing, peace, and genuine long-term potential matter, well, this might just be one of the UAE's smartest and definitely most overlooked opportunities right now. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What else might you be missing by only looking at the most obvious places? And what does it really take to be properly informed when you're scouting these emerging markets? Something to consider.